Hey everyone, today we're diving deep into the community's analysis of QIMIR vs Darth Maul. We've gathered some intriguing comments from the Star Wars community and it's time to break down the feedback and insights and make a final conclusion of this fight to the death. Just before we begin, I just want to thank you all for your comments. It was great talking to you, and it's always amazing to have an open dialogue about topics to do with the new wave of Star Wars and challenging ourselves to contrast it with what has come before. So without further ado, let us begin. Let's start with Sammy Snyder's comment. He raised an interesting point about Maul's experience. He mentioned that Maul's training under Palpatine might provide him an advantage. Now, in order to compare masters, we have to ask ourselves who trained QIMIR. Well, it's been recently confirmed that Darth Plagueis' apprentice is in fact QIMIR. Also keep in mind, he was trained by Venestra too, assumingly before Plagueis. Now we gotta ask ourselves, are the foundations of which a Jedi or Sith's training important? It's a question to ask ourselves if this correlates to the result of the fight to the death. Thank you Sammy Snyder for your comment. Obi Dean summed his thoughts up by saying, Maul all day, may the force be with you. Clearly there's a strong belief that Maul's experience trumps QIMIR. There is a big investment in Maul, which does make a lot of sense that QIMIR wouldn't be the popular one in this fight to the death. Thank you Obi Dean for your comment. Rated G commented that QIMIR might be dipped in plot armor, suggesting that QIMIR's feats could be somewhat exaggerated for the sake of storytelling. Could QIMIR be the victim of being in a writer's block, where his abilities are exaggerated in order to progress the plot? Regardless, I do believe Manny's portrayal of QIMIR is great, and I do wish he was in another era of Star Wars where his character can be fleshed out so much more, outside of the Acolyte. I do believe there were shortcomings from the writers, and because there's not much of a foundation of how QIMIR bested the Jedi with his sheer skills, it's hard to determine if this is mere plot armor or there's a genuine reason for his abilities and skill set. Thank you Rated G for your comment. Vishit the Immortal also weighed in, agreeing that both characters are indeed badass. Sounds weird saying badass, I say badass, but anyways, we can all agree on that, and we could also agree that Vitiate shouldn't be uttered in the same sentence as Maul and QIMIR. Thank you Vitiate the Immortal for your comment. Doomsday said that QIMIR has the vibes on his side. I guess Maul didn't meet the vibe check, but hey, Maul's too tense, he may need a bowl of scotch to pass the vibe check. Thank you Doomsday for your comment. Ken Buxton mentioned, I butchered that one, man. Anyways, Ken Buxton mentioned that Maul's aggression, noting that it might be too much for QIMIR. I agree with him about Maul's aggression. It's definitely a key factor, and I don't think QIMIR has that same level of aggression that Maul has. Thank you Ken Buxton for your comment. Zach the Sabarak had an interesting take. He believes QIMIR could come close to defeating Maul but hasn't quite reached Maul's level as of yet. I do believe Plagueis will end QIMIR's life before he has the opportunity to extend his skills though. Thanks Zach the Sabarak for your comment. Man, these names. Sunrider pointed out that while QIMIR's combat skills seem impressive due to the High Republic's era peak Jedi abilities, his success often relies on tactics like splitting up opponents, unpredictability, and using Cortosis armor rather than pure skill. Sunrider also noted that Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, due to their mastery and swordsmanship, would likely be superior to the average High Republic Jedi. According to the Phantom Menace novel, Qui-Gon was amongst the best swordsmen in the Jedi Order and had enough mastery of the Force to be considered for the Council. Obi-Wan was also noted for his exceptional skills even at his age. This suggests that both Jedi would be superior to the random knights and Padawans QIMIR encountered. Thank you Sunrider for your comment, it was very well articulated. Now Slimy Fish 6524 sparked a huge discussion which you could say opposed what Sunrider said about the strength comparison between the High Republic Jedi and the classic characters like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. The thread goes on by establishing that the Jedi during the High Republic were at the height of their power. So the very question remains, who is stronger, the High Republic Jedi or the Jedi in the prequels? From all the data gathered, I think it makes sense for the Jedi of the prequel era to be stronger. As part of the Phantom Menace, there was a time of peace, so there's not really any excuse for the Jedi to be weaker than they were in the High Republic. I could be wrong, let me know. Thank you Slimy Fish and all those who participated in the thread below. It was a great discussion and a good read. Daniel5740 suggested that QIMIR is more on Kylo Ren's level. It's an interesting idea for another battle to the death video between Kylo Ren and QIMIR. That's definitely something we could do in the future. Overall, while Kymir's skills and tactics are acknowledged, Darth Maul's experience and aggression give him a significant advantage, and let's not forget Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's exceptional mastery and swordsmanship, which may place them above most High Republic Jedi, and in turn give Maul credit for overwhelming such powerful Jedi. Some may believe this to be an ambitious take, and some may not. Most of the conversation was spent regarding the adversity that Maul and Qimir faced in terms of the caliber of Jedi they faced, which is a very important talking point when it comes to these types of videos. Again, your comments were very insightful and I do appreciate the discussions had. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell for more Star Wars content. Drop your thoughts and comments below as I'm more than happy to continue this discussion down in the comments. Who would ultimately win in a battle between Qimir and Maul? Until next time, may the Force be with you.